Alright, this video, we're talking about fighting games. If fighting games are too hard to get into. And the reason I started questioning that was because of a tweet that I saw, which I'm going to show in the next slide. And I know this has probably been talked about. This all ties in with the topic of, are fighting games harder than other video games in the community? But I just want to share my input as someone that's new to the FGC, who came from the other games that people are talking about. And I'm not someone that grew up playing these games in like arcades. So that's why I just started questioning this. First slide. So this is the tweet. So I was scrolling Marvelous Twitter. I'm fucking joking. And I saw this tweet by Cloud, and I completely agree with what he's saying. So what he said is, fighting games are held to a higher and more difficult standard than other competitive games. Deadlock, a shooter MOBA with literal paragraphs on items and dozens of purchables with crazy builds gets a pass, but God forbid you add emotion input and 99% of the gamers crumble. And so I was thinking, why? Because to us, like, motion inputs aren't that hard anymore. But like, I played Deadlock. I put in like, I think about 100 hours as well. But not only that, I played MOBAs before that. I suck at them. But why does something like Deadlock have thousands of players and beat something like Street Fighter, which is probably one of the most popular fighting games right now, especially on Steam? So it's just like, why is that? And I really want to talk about the why. Why are games like Deadlock, League, Rocket League, with the same difficulty or potentially even more difficult, retain more players than fighting games? A lot of people say fighting games don't have enough single player content, but like, these other games are also strictly multiplayer only but have millions of players. Which brings me to this slide. Why? The main thing that came to my head was, you don't get to learn with friends. I mean, you can learn fighting games with a friend, but it's mostly gonna be like them backseating or coaching you, and I don't really think people want to do that, you know? Like, if you're not someone that's already like gonna coach, and also, who's to say, like, some people aren't meant to be like a coach, you know? So it's not always gonna work out that way. And so you're not gonna be playing alongside them, you're gonna be going against them, and it's not gonna be fun for them because they're gonna have to go a little easier on you. Some people don't, they're just gonna fucking smoke you. But that's the other end. If you're new, it's gonna suck feeling, man, I'm only competing because they're going easy, or you're just gonna be getting completely fucking smoked. You're not gonna even be able to play the game. You're not gonna know how to block, anything like that. While in League or Deadlock, you got to play on the same team and learn whilst playing together at the same time. And I think that's the easier and more enjoyable experience. And fighting games just don't really have that luxury since it's predominantly a 1v1 game. And that's where like 2xKO comes in, because I know it's gonna be one of the few games where the main gameplay is you get to play alongside each other and go against other friends that are also like maybe playing alongside each other. So you can do 4 people can be playing a fighting game at once. I don't know if that's unheard of. To me, as someone that's new, like I said, that sounds unheard of. Like in my friend group, because I played League, like I said, and in my friend group, we all learned League. Like everyone taught one person to the other. It wasn't like one person picked up the game and learned it on their own. Maybe one person did, but I feel like in our group, League was always taught by another friend while we all played together. And I was the last person they showed League because I was on PC late. And even though I had no idea what was going on, it was fun because we were just all yelling in the Discord, having a good time. I'd get hit once, like someone autoed me. I'm running away from them. They're like, "Hey, stop moving." And I'm like, "What?" And then everybody started laughing. I mean, they're just trolling me. And it was just hilarious. Like, those moments were just always fun. I really liked that part of League. Learning the game was like the best part for me. But like vice versa, I tried getting some friends into Street Fighter. I have a friend named Irving and a friend named Andrew, and they played it for a little bit, but they didn't stick with it like how they stuck with League. And I went against it for my friend Andrew, like I was saying, and he was learning Jury, and I just went random to go against him because, I mean, it would be unfair. Because I didn't want to go easy on him, but I didn't want to play, like, it was just, because like I said, it just feel like it would suck for the other person. So like, oh, like, did I really win or did I win because he's going easy? And so I just went random, trying to go against him with characters I don't normally play. And I thought it'd be a little bit more enjoyable for him, but like, I inevitably still won because what are you supposed to do? I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I tried teaching him like, oh, like you can do this, like, oh, this is unsafe. But like I said, some people aren't meant to be coaches. I don't know if I'm like supposed to be a coach. I don't think I am. I've never given anyone lessons. So like, what am I'm not like the best Street Fighter 6 player. So what if what I'm teaching him is wrong? But I mean, I'm just trying to give him like at least a better understanding of what to actually do. But he didn't stick with the game. But the thing, you've been actually seeing creators get into these fighting games like Tekken, Street Fighter, like Lily Pichu, for example. But the thing you see, like, they're sticking with it, and I wonder why. But I noticed one thing is like, they have coaches. They have people that are teaching them the game. But I know it's not always that, because they're not playing with them 24/7. But they are getting help, and I don't know what it is that made them stick. I wish I could ask them, but I mean, hey, I don't got contact with them. But I really wonder why it stuck with them. And I know Lily Pichu, like, she just started playing Guilty Gear now too, so she's playing like a bunch of fighting games. We'll see how that goes. Another thing why I think fighting games are hard to get into is because you're paying money just to get your fucking ass beat. Fighting games are not usually free, like with the exception of Grand Blue being free, like it has the free-to-play version, but it's still not entirely free. And fighting games are usually the best time to jump in is when a game releases, and you're gonna be paying 60, now 70, and that's when all the fresh bloods are gonna be there. But you're going to be paying 60 bones just to get your ass beat, either by people playing the same time as you or veterans that have been playing the past games. And like, you're going to lose so much, at least in my experience, you're going to lose so much before you start understanding the game more. Maybe I'm just terrible, I'm not a natural like some other people. Maybe people will get in, like, understand it faster. Maybe that hurdle is what's stopping people from actually even paying that $60 to $70 price point. Also, another thing of getting into fighting games is jumping into games when they've been out for a while is pretty hard. Like, sadly, fighting games don't have the biggest of player bases, especially when they've been out for a while. So it's hard to get games with people with the same level. So like, Guilty Gear has, like, I think I see it has like 3 to 5K on Steam, and I don't know how much people are even in like the lower tower system. And I know the tower system sucks, but I don't even know how much people are like getting into that game now that it's been out for I don't know how many years. It just sucks. It's really hard, and the only way to learn is to play the game and get your ass beat. I mean, you can have your friend teach you, but like I said, with everything that I said before. And I know I've mentioned I played cross tag before in another video, but like, I went back and I think someone in the Twitch chat joined the fight, and he was like, let me fight you. I was like, all right. Got completely smoked. Like I said before in the other video, I didn't know what was happening. It just felt bad. And I didn't continue to play the game. I was like, wait, I'm only ever gonna have fun playing this game if I'm playing against a friend that's also learning it. I see why people wouldn't want to buy the games, even if they're on sale, like 30 bucks or whatever, 30 bucks just to get smoked. And the thing is, I'm not saying that they're not worth buying, because I think they are. I think so much love is put into them, and I'm not sure how the market works as like developers of how free-to-play works. How do they make money? I know League makes money off the skins and stuff, but I'm not sure if even like making games free is what would fix the issue. And these other games, like I said, they're free to play, and you get to learn with friends, and it just feels like something easier to gravitate to compared to a fighting game. I barely hit 600 hours into Street Fighter 6, and I finally feel like I can hold my own a bit. Like, if someone else is master, I believe that I can at least get like 1 or 2 games in. But I might get smoked regardless. Like, if they're like near legend, like higher 1800 MR, I think I'm probably gonna only get 1 game. But even if I go 0-5 against them, we do a first to 5, I won't feel like I'm getting completely smoked. I'll at least get a round in the actual game. But that's okay. And it's ridiculous because as someone, I have almost 3K hours, as you can see on screen, and I only reached gold in League. And that's not really, I don't know, I forgot what percentile that is, but it's insane how much I played League. Like, I play a lot of Street Fighter 6, but I don't play Street Fighter 6 how I used to play League. Maybe it's because I grew up, you know, I have a job now. I'm trying to do YouTube, I'm trying to do a bunch of things. And back then I was just in high school, but I still played it after high school a lot too. But like, Valorant is a game I played when I was a little more grown up, and I forgot what I think I was still unemployed though, so maybe that's a factor. But I had like 900 hours in that game as well. Like, Riot just has me by the fucking balls, and now 2xKO. But the thing is, I know people don't have the time. So why are people using that time for something equally as hard or harder, like League? So I just decided to go on a Reddit thread and was like, I looked up, why don't you play fighting games? And then the Reddit thread came up in the gaming community. And I saw a lot of comments saying how it takes too long to get actually good. And sadly, that is true. It does take a while to get good. But that's in anything. But I guess in fighting games, it's harder to see that since you're going to be losing so much up until a certain point. And again, you're doing it alone, and you're just going to be, it's just going to suck. So there's no space for casuals is something I saw a lot. And League, you have ranked, but you also have ARAM, and you also have all these other game modes. And Valorant, same thing. You have ranked, but you have the casual game modes with Spike Rush. There's a space for the casual community to where like you can still have fun, but it's like you can still try. But even it still has the ranked, which although I know in League it's only solo duo, but you're still doing it with the friend. But there is a space for casuals in these other games, and that's what the fighting games really lack. That's like a really big thing that fighting games won't have is a space for casuals. No matter how many single player stuff there is, no matter how much story they add, there's just no space for casuals. Yeah, those are like the reasons I saw personally. And next slide. So what's the solution? 2xKO is bringing something new to the table, like I mentioned it briefly earlier. And I don't think making these games easier is gonna do anything. You know, adding modern, adding one button specials. It might help a bit, but I think the core issue is the experience of actually playing a fighting game is what makes them hard to get into if you haven't been playing these games for a long time. And I started thinking, what made me, as someone who's new, get into the scene? And funny enough, people say downtime in fighting games is what they don't like. Like on that Reddit thread, I saw people saying, oh, you just get comboed into oblivion and you don't even get to play. But the thing is, what I like about fighting games is that I think the downtime is less compared to something like League or Valorant. When you die, you have to spectate and just watch someone. I hate doing that, especially towards like later games in League and Deadlock. You're just watching for like a fucking minute. I hate that. I'm not getting comboed for a minute. I get comboed for at least maybe like 15 seconds. That's like a tag fighter type combo, but like Street Fighter, I don't think any combo goes above like 8 seconds. At least it doesn't feel like that. But that's what I enjoy so much about fighting games. It feels like you're actually always doing something. You're looking out for so many things. You're always moving. You're looking to see if you're gonna anti-air, and you're like, when you're blocking, you're like, oh my god, are they gonna go for this fucking throw? It's a guessing game, and I know some people don't like that, but that's what I enjoyed about the game. It was just like, man, I'm always pressing something. Maybe I'm just a fucking idiot and I have an ADHD brain and I just always want to be doing something. But that's what I really enjoyed about fighting games. So, like I said, 2xKO. Is this going to be a solution? It's either, look, I think it's either going to fail or just be a blueprint for more games as what to do. I really hope it doesn't fail. But the only reason I say it might fail is because, well, at least the beta, I know like the onboarding was terrible. There isn't really good tutorial. But the game, like we said, there's a playtest coming up in April, I think they said, or in spring next year. So this game's still a long way out. It's going to take a while. Like, we might not even, it might be a 2026 launch at this rate. So I think what they're doing is good, but though, like, 4 of us were, like, when we're doing the beta, the playtests, 4 of us are playing 2xKO. And even though tag fighters are something I might not like as much as Street Fighter 6, it was fun that 4 of us were playing the fighting game together. All 4 of us were enjoying something, and it brought back the memories of League where we're all learning together. Like, we're just all in the call, just talking shit, doing whatever, you know? It was really fun. And I know DBFZ did have game modes where like you do the raid bosses. I'm not sure how popular it was, but I loved watching the Dota Doya. Is that how you say his name? I'm fucking idiot. But I would watch his videos with him and his friends going against them. And I think the solution lies there. Fun modes. You don't need more single player content, but just more modes where you can have fun with friends, or just not even fun, but play with them and also be like in a competitive scenario. Because I know Tekken and Street Fighter do have like the fun game modes. I swear I don't see it. I think Tekken had the one where you're like bouncing a ball or something like that. I think Street Fighter had some like crazy stuff too. But I don't see people playing them. I don't see people using them because, I mean, ultimately you're playing against the other person still, and you're not playing alongside them. Maybe you guys have more ideas as what to do to like combat the experience of fighting games, what makes them so jarring for some people. But those were things I personally thought. And we see more games doing this, like Guilty Gear doing the 3 versus 3, so that's gonna be 6 people playing at once. I think it's still in beta. I haven't tried it. Just when it's all said and done, how do we get more people to play? I don't know. I just want to see fighting games be at their peak, since I personally have a lot of fun with them. Smash was the closest thing I had to a fighting game where I had a friend group where we all grinded the game and had little tourneys, and I think that's because that game is inherently a party game with tons of way to play with friends. It's originally meant to just be a fun thing, but the competitive side is still there. And that game has 2v2s as well. It has the 2v2s and the 1v1s. I don't know. I mean, that game sold 30 million units. So maybe the solution just has to be being able to share this experience with someone else at the same time. And that concludes my answer. The answer that came up with me looking into it, and is yes, fighting games are hard to get into. And I know people have said that, but it is the harsh reality that it's not the fact that they're difficult to learn, it's just the actual concept is just hard to get into. And I hope to see fighting games rise in popularity like these other games that have, look how much current players they have. This was taking the recording of this video, 900,000 players in Counter-Strike, because to me the more the merrier. But it might be, people might be okay with fighting games just being this niche thing and not having to be a big thing. Maybe people wanted it to be like that. Maybe the developers want it to be like that. But I just think with more people it would be better. More local scenes could spawn from it, from them getting more traction. I just want to see them succeed. I said it like 5 times. Are just fighting games gonna inevitably always gonna be a niche genre in the gaming community forever? Only time will tell with how the future of these things are. I know they're on a rise right now. I'm out of here. Thank you for another TED Talk of me being an idiot. I don't know if people have said this already. I watched a few videos though. I tried watching videos to make sure I didn't say things that people have said before, but I might have missed videos. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope my input was a little interesting.